The Tullamore Court Hotel is the destination on the 23rd of February, Sunday, for the Midlands 103 Green Home and Energy Show. Noelle O'Donoghue from Noelle Interiors in Dangan is on hand and will be there, but she's joined us this morning to have a look at colours and trends for 2025 when it comes to interior design. Noelle, give me the headlines in terms of what people are looking at this year.
Well, I suppose, there's lots of different things that go on in interiors. Colours are always the big thing. The colour on your wall has the biggest impact. And, really sets the tone for a room. So, obviously, the greys are well gone for the last couple of years. And so all the earthy colours are all the new neutrals now. But then, you'll always get colours mixed in with that. And red and wine, oxblood, these are all the new bold colours. That's a really good, bold colour. But one thing that's really big is colour drenching. So colour drenching is when you paint everything, the walls, the ceilings, the skirtings, the architrave and the doors, all the one colour.
Okay.
And it's lovely to do this in one of the darker colours. So maybe, if you were using that lovely oxblood.
You do the whole room and literally everything in it.
Everything in it, including the ceilings.
The layman here in front of you would be worried that would be overwhelming. But the effect is not the case.
Well, look, at everything, is relative. I mean, if you've got, a room that's full of big windows and it's really bright room, probably wouldn't do it. I think it's great if you have a room that's, the way I'd often go into people and they'd say, if I paint this now sort of a very pale cream, will it brighten it up? And I'm like, not unless you knock a window out of that wall, are you going to brighten up this room? Because it's north-facing, small windows and it's very dark. And so it's fantastic to do it in a room like that, because rather than trying to counteract something that's difficult to do, go with it. And
very good.
And then you see it's all got to do with lighting. So lighting is always extremely important in any room, in any colour scheme, to set the tone and create the mood. So if you do the colour drenching along with really good atmospheric lighting, it can be fantastic. You get that lovely boudoir sort of a feel, It's
real alchemy, isn't it? Visual alchemy, kind of. You can go with something strong, you can counteract it with, as you say, something in relation to lighting, or you can harness the natural environment if you can do as well. So there's so much you can play with.
On the circumstances, I mean, there's somebody sitting there now thinking, oh God, I wouldn't do that at all, and it probably would be inappropriate in their home for whatever reason, And I suppose it depends on what you're into, Some people would find that maybe depressing, But if the lighting is done well, it can be a fantastic look. Yeah.
Subjectivity, isn't it?
Yeah. It has to be done right, So obviously, you're better off then to get somebody like me to give you a hand and make sure you talk you through it and get it all the right aspects in the right way.
You're going to be with us at the Midlands 103 Green Home and Energy Show in the Tullamore Court on the 23rd of February. You looking forward to it?
Yeah. I'll be displaying all our new products. One of the things that we're doing at the moment is lampshades. So we're making beautiful floral patterned, abstract patterned, different types of lampshades, different shapes, different styles, which is now another part of a new trend, because, that maximalism is kind of in, and it's a counter to all the minimalist interiors that were going on for a long time.
It's been a long, long time with minimalism, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. And I mean, it suits some people, but it doesn't suit everybody. And there's definitely a trend more toward the, I suppose, slightly more traditional kind of look, lots of patterns, different types of patterns, big pattern, small pattern, your cushions, maybe your rug. And like that too, the lampshades or whatever, you could have one pattern on the outside, another pattern on the inside of the shade. So that's something that we'll have at the Tullamore show, along with our cushions and a display of some of the other things, like we do upholstered furniture as well. So we'll have it all there. Yeah.
Upholstered furniture. that can be a key piece for when you're looking at interior design, because ultimately it can take up a fair bit of your floor space, and it can draw the eye.
Well, I think the most important thing about furniture is that when I'm upholstered furniture, the sofas that you sit on are probably one of the big investments that you'll make. And there is a trend out there now, this kind of curved furniture. So you get these big armchairs with a curved back in it and curved arms. And it's a very trendy look, but it'll date. So it's not something that I would actively encourage people to spend big money on. It's nice to have maybe a fashionable piece, if you pick it up in a sale, or, it's not that expensive. But the key items like your sofas, they're big spends. And so I'm always encouraging people to go with more of a classical shape, something that's going to last the test of time. A lot of the fabrics that we use in upholstery now are called aquacleans. So I describe these that they have the function and durability of leather, but the comfort of fabric. Okay. So aquacleans, you can almost bleach clean them. So you can definitely use, hot soapy water to clean off everything from butter jam, chocolate spread, red wine, coffee, all the big culprits for destroying our lovely furniture.
Well, I can tell you, this presenter's father decided to empty a cup of coffee down my couch over Christmas, and I really could have done with
an aqua clean.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds like a really good shout. But generally, when it comes to furniture, be practical in how you're thinking about it, and going with the classical design that won't date. It makes a lot of sense, considering you want to invest in it.
Well, you see, it's an investment, and as an investment, maybe you'll tire of the colour, and maybe the fabric, if it does get ruined over time or whatever, you'd like to be able to just get it recovered. So if you've got a really good quality frame, a nice classic shape, that's not specifically for the trend at the moment, getting it recovered then in 10 years' time or whatever, that's a good investment, And especially nowadays, like, we just don't want to be living in a world of this throwaway furniture,
Well, that's it. Sustainability is a really important aspect of what we're doing with the Green Home and Energy Show as well. At Noelle's Interiors, and obviously, Noelle, you will be on hand to answer questions maybe at the Tullamore Court Hotel on Sunday in February 23rd. But when it comes to clients or customers and their questions about how to put a front room together, you must deal with an absolute variety of like people who know themselves and know what they want. And I presume at the other end of the spectrum as well, they need guidance.
Yeah, well, one thing I always say to people, that it isn't my job to impose my personal taste on, the customer or you or whoever. My job is to help you realise what your goal, your taste is, and to help you to do that properly. So there's loads of different styles out there, and loads of them that I love. Maybe I mightn't necessarily do them in my own home. It depends on the circumstances of the house, and then how you live, and the stage of life that you're at. People with young kids are a completely different stage than somebody that's retired, So everybody has different needs and different wants.
A lot of what you do is probably getting to know people on a certain level.
Yeah, and it's a very personal thing. Like, you're in people's bedrooms, so it becomes a very intimate experience, And another thing that we do as well, you see, there's kind of two aspects. Like, obviously, we do all of the soft furnishings and the upholstered furniture and everything, which is kind of really the end stage, but that's the lovely stage that people love. But in the beginning, you have plans, and you have to make sure that the rooms are laid out correctly. So we would help people with that all the time. Like, interior layouts are so important, making sure you have sockets in the right place, moving a door down a foot, like, so that it allows you to have furniture in that space in there, can have a significant impact on how that room functions. And these are things that, people don't take into account beforehand. And then they come to me and they're like, oh, God, now the window's in the wrong place, or I should have moved that down there, whatever it is. And these are things that don't cost any more. It's just having it planned out correctly in advance.
Seeking out the right advice from people like yourself in advance of making the fundamental decisions that people mightn't even associate with interior design. because they have interior
Well, they
design
kind
consequences.
of they look at interior design as the paint colours and the fabric, but the layout is equally as important for the functionality of the room. And many times, architects, they're very good at their job and draw up lovely plans or whatever, but they're not really getting into how that person lives their lives. Maybe some people do. Like, it depends, on the circumstance or whatever. That that kitchen needs to be laid out in a particular way, and how that's going to work for that particular client,
Noelle O'Donoghue, Noelle Interiors, you'll be at the Tullamore Court Hotel for the Green Home and Energy Show. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Yeah, no problem.